You got to be. Hang on. See, here's the microphone.
Is it live right now?
Well, we are live right now. Yes, we are live. What'd you want to say?
Hi, I'm
No. You said you wanted to say "Woo Pig Suey."
Woo Pig Suey!
There you go. Can you do the hog call? Woo Pig Suey.
Pig Suey!
All right. Okay. All right. Good job. All right.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye. Say hi.
All right, girls.
Bye.
Shh. I knew that was gonna happen. Hey, how you guys doing? All right, let Daddy work. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to go live tonight. Hadn't planned on it. Wife is out celebrating, or she's at a wedding rehearsal dinner or something, and hadn't planned on going live. And I thought, you know what? The kids are still up. It's only 7:15. Why not? And I'm gonna let them roam around the house while I'm in here. I could still see them. I've got line of sight right there. How you guys doing? How about that win, huh? Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans? Welcome to the one and only Pig Trail Network live YouTube channel. If you'd be so kind, like the video, share it. That'd be just fantastic. Share the content, wherever, however. Twitter or Facebook, doesn't matter. Check out all the links provided for you down below in the description box. I don't know how long we're going to do this because, again, I've got my kids. Had not planned to do this. Raising them right, Ty. Thank you. I didn't want to go live and I'm watching this game and I'm like, Arkansas's going to lose this damn thing. Well, quick recap. First half, Arkansas looks like, again, they have some moments where it's like they're going to win this thing pretty easily. And then Ole Miss climbs back into it. Look, we complain, and my phone is just blowing up right now. We complained about officiating last week. There's going to always be home cooking. You got to admit that. Everyone has to agree. Arkansas gets their fair share of it in Fayetteville at Bud Walton. Tonight was not that. I didn't think the officiating was bad. There were a couple of times where it seemed like anytime they drove the lane, they could get away with whatever, and Arkansas wasn't able to make contact at all. And then on the other side of the court, it just wasn't called, but whatever. I mean, that's every game. I think Arkansas gets away with worse home cooking than what Ole Miss got away with tonight. I think it was very clear. It's very clear the teams have a game plan, and that's just to attack inside. I don't know. I thought it was interesting how they switched from man and zone, and it was like the minute they switched to zone, Isaiah Joe. How about Isaiah Joe in the corner pocket tonight? Like all year, that's the Achilles heel of any three-point shooter who thinks they can shoot from anywhere on the floor, go into that corner pocket. And Isaiah Joe this year, at times, it's like he really can shoot from that corner pocket. I mean, how many did he make tonight? 3? Corner pocket shots, that's incredible. When you make one in a game, it's like, oh, all right, okay, he must be on fire. And then for him to make however many he made, I don't even have all the numbers pulled up in front of me. Mason Jones has stumbled 5 times in 2 games. That worries me. Yeah, Mason Jones was not really a factor tonight. And I'm going to say this, and of course I haven't looked at all the numbers, and I'm also going to have to admit those final few minutes of the game, I had a hard time keeping up with it because I was dealing with those two. With Addie and Ellie, my 2 daughters. That was an interesting way to end the ball game. I'm having to try and run around with my iPad watching the game while disciplining your kids. Have you ever had to do that? You hush, little lady. Oh, wait a minute. Isaiah Joe, yes, you hush. I'm going to spank your bottom. Oh, my God, we're about to win. That's kind of how my night went. I was impressed with Isaiah Joe. Again, you win this game because of his shooting ability. We haven't seen – it feels like it's been a little while since we've seen Isaiah Joe heat up like that, and it's so good to see, especially when everyone else around you is struggling a little bit. I thought Bailey played well inside. I think he had his moments, but, again, defensively, he is a force to be reckoned with. They got – what was the largest lead? 11 points, 12 points. And every time Arkansas would bring this thing within 4, here comes Ole Miss, So, yeah, I wasn't shocked Arkansas. Like, going into this game, we thought this is going to be Arkansas is going to handle these guys. And sure enough, it's almost like not only did the fans overlook this team, it looked to me, especially in the first half, like maybe Arkansas had overlooked Ole Miss a little bit. I know that's blasphemous to say because of Musselman's ability to prepare for his next opponent. He doesn't lose back-to-back games. He hasn't done it yet this year. So I love that we're 2-1 in conference. You're going to stay in the conversation, I think, with one of the better teams in the SEC when it comes to breaking down the conference 1 through all the way at last at 14. You're still going to be in the talks of being one of the premier teams. I do feel like a loss here would have hurt that because you already have a hard time gaining respect. We've talked about that a lot. I'm more concerned about being respected from the terms of if and I've said this every time on a Hog Talk, on the Pig Trail Pod, on here, everywhere, and to people that I've talked to out in public. My concern is, and I'm asked this a lot, like, why are you obsessed with being top 20? I'm not obsessed with being ranked. I'm obsessed with getting respect. And again, when you're not getting it now, look, I mean, Lenardi's latest bracketology, he had, was it 5? He dropped some teams. Did I see that right? Arkansas, Auburn, Kentucky. Was it LSU and then maybe Florida? Was that his 5? I swear I saw that somewhere. So you're already starting to catch a little disrespect. Even if that wasn't Lenardi's bracket, the SEC is already starting to drop because coming into the year they were talking about 7, possibly even on a Hail Mary pass at the end of the year, 8 teams getting into the NCAA tournament. So if you're starting to drop in terms of respect, and especially with how they hold these conferences accountable now with the way they look at strength of schedule and the way they kind of diagnose that, and of course that comes into play when it comes down to the selection committee. When you're getting disrespected right now, what are the odds at the end of the year if you're sitting at 21 wins and your conference hasn't pulled away or hasn't, the SEC looks like it's taking a big step back. That's my concern. That's why I'm concerned about catching respect now, because then when you're ranked, you're going to stay in the back of the minds of some of these guys in the selection committee. You're going to stay in the back of the minds of these national commentators. It's important. It's very much important. I made that same argument when it came to preseason magazines, with college football. And, well, all sport, especially college football and college basketball, but the more exposure you get, the more you're out there, the more likely you are to hang around and you're going to be in the back of people's minds. That's my concern. I'm not – numbers are numbers. Hell, we all know as long as you make that field, you're good. Who cares about being ranked? I'm with you on that. But Arkansas has to work extra, extra hard to gain respect. They've been a middle – at times top of, near top 4 team in the conference recently under Mike. But for whatever reason, they still have to fight to get that level of respect. I don't know why. Well, I say that. I mean, his postseason play wasn't exactly spectacular, and that's also a way of gaining respect long term, is being able to make consistent postseason play and being able to take that the distance, being able to go beyond, the first or second round. And Mike struggled with that. But there's a lot of basketball left. And like I said, and someone was calling me out, good old, it was Ronnie calling me out in Discord, said that your regular, or before the season started, you were right when you said Arkansas would be lucky to win 15, 16 games, wouldn't have postseason play, yada, yada, yada. She said I should have stuck with that. And that's when Arkansas was trailing and losing, and then it turned around. Arkansas comes back, they fight in the second half. The way this team sticks around, thanks to defensive play, great elite defensive play, the way they stick around and then they come back and win, everyone goes silent. I've got people in my YouTube and my past videos in my comments right now coming at me trying to throw pie in my face because they said, haha, you were wrong, and look at this team, they suck, and then Arkansas comes back and they win. They don't have anything to say about that. I've got some guy, Sean, I can't even pronounce the last name, he's telling me that Arkansas is trash. Telling me they got dominated against LSU. Yeah, they got dominated on the boards, my man, but that doesn't mean they got dominated on the floor, on the rest of the floor. There are other parts of the court that you play on. LSU did not dominate this game. Arkansas neutral site or at home, they win that game probably 7, 8 times out of 10. Yeah, the boards, everybody beats Arkansas on the boards. Everybody out-rebounds Arkansas. They're small. Arkansas struggles. They can't box out when you're small or down low, when you don't have any true bigs. By the way, Scylla playing tonight. What was that about? I saw him get a couple of offensive rebounds, I thought. I don't know. He didn't say that at all. Sean, that is exactly what you said, my man. That is exactly what you said. You said they got dominated because of rebounds. You were wrong. That they were dominated on the floor. They were dominated in the boards because everybody dominates them down low. They don't have size. Best small team I've seen in a long time. They're scrappy. And I think scrappy, they play great defense. Ball handling skills on a scale of 1 to 10, Arkansas is probably about a 5 would probably about where I'd put them. I have a hard time. I mean, their ball handling skills are bad. They're not very good. They got to get better. Mason Jones makes me nervous, especially in transition. They've got some work to do there, but by God, everywhere else, other than the coachable, you can't coach size. You either have it or you don't. I don't know. Sean, anyone can go back and read those comments. You were coming out of frustration and emotion because Arkansas was struggling in this game, and you let emotions get the better of you. That's pure and simple. It's not that hard. And you said they were not a good basketball team. They'd been dominated by LSU, and yet here we are. They've won on the road at Indiana, at Georgia Tech. They got a conference win. They're 2-1 in conference play. They're not a bad basketball team. What was wrong with Jones? I don't know. How about that late pass from Jones to Witt when they went to foul? Mason, that's the thing, though. He can beat you in all different aspects of the game. He doesn't have to be an elite scorer. I think his basketball IQ is pretty high. I think that guy's basketball IQ is pretty high. I like the way he plays. I just wish his ball handling skills need a little bit of work. I don't know. Shit happens, eat the crow. That's exactly right. I mean, it is what it is. You're hilarious. Now I see how you hype everything up when you talk about other people at times. My man, I think you're just caught up in your feels. Really. I really think you're caught up in your feels. We all get frustrated and say, crap, we regret later after we come back and win. I'll give Sean credit. Not very many people stick it out and then come in the live chat and debate and have arguments. Typically, they don't come back at all. I don't know how many people. The Mike Anderson people still aren't. I haven't heard from them in forever. I have not heard from them and I thought I would when Mike got off to that hot start. When Mike got off to, he's doing really well where he's at. I really thought, here we go. And I don't care. I wish him all the success in the world. I loved Mike. Not gonna lie, man. No one more bummed at the way that ended than myself. I grew up a big fan of Nolan. I knew he was a part of that. I was so excited about what he could do here. And you know what? The way I look at it is he just wasn't the right fit after 8 years. He took Arkansas from to okay, all right, they're pretty good. They're respectable. Okay. He just couldn't get it done in postseason play. I like Mike. Nobody more bummed than Mike not working out than myself. And I wish him all the best. But, I caught so much crap, and those people have never come back. And they would go through, and every video I would make about basketball, they'd come back, and they would get thrown into the filtered comment section, the infamous filtered comment section. And every video, this guy it's 2 or 3 of them called me racist and all these different names, and it haven't been back since Arkansas got off to their hot start. Everything I've said about Arkansas basketball, it's all good. Keep regurgitating the things you hear. Hold up, what? You keep regurgitating the things you hear other media outlets say to stay relevant. Sean, you really are caught up in your feels, my man. I even gave you credit for coming back. Man, now you're sinking like the Titanic. Take it like a man. Sean, what are you doing, son? Goodness. I'm over here throwing you props, and you're sinking like the Titanic. Honestly, it's pretty great, though. Thank you. Your help. This is great. What are you talking about? To stay relevant. Oh, I love it. I love it. Bro, look, Arkansas is okay. All right? I think we can all agree. They're tonight, some people got upset quick. Even I did. I think I texted the Hog Talk guys like, this is not a good look. They're not looking good right now. But we had some people panic in Discord, and it's understandable. This is basketball. The way this thing swings back and forth is incredible. I mean, Ole Miss, and we also forget how hard it is to win on the road, especially in conference play, because a lot of the pageantry kicks in, the drama, the emotion, the rivalries, and all this. And we know that Ole Miss and Arkansas fans do not think kindly of one another. And you throw all this stuff in, and it makes it that much more difficult. It's hard in the NBA too, don't get me wrong. Celtics are a great example of that. They played phenomenal at home, and they struggled on the road. Well, I would say struggle, but they lost some games they had no business losing on the road. It's everywhere. High school, college, pros. It's hard to win on the road, and it's easy to get caught up in your emotions. And I was victim of it a little bit tonight, texting some friends of mine. I said, this is not a good look. This is not good. This is the worst they've played. I said that in Discord. This is the worst defensive effort I have seen all year. I don't know. Let's see. Hopefully he gets a big contract soon. Oh, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Did you guys see Nick Starkel's transferring to San Jose State? What'd you think of that? Watched St. John today, and Mike Anderson has the Johnnies playing like he did at Missouri. And that's another thing, too, people don't ever factor in. Some coaches just struggle, and they don't excel in other jobs. In Arkansas, you can argue since Nolan Richardson, this is a tough job. It's funny, you go from Sutton to Nolan, you're rolling Arkansas. Of course, the first 3 years with Nolan were rough, but once he got him going, I mean, the rest is history. But then after Nolan, it's like everybody comes here and they struggle. Now, it's not like Pelfrey or Stan Heath. It's not like those guys went on and did phenomenal things. But Mike is one of those guys. It's like everywhere he'd been, he had seen a certain level of success, and then he comes here and he wins at a high level, or a pretty high level, especially for Mizzou. I'm going to say that. I'm going to take every cheap shot I can at Mizzou because, blank Mizzou. But he's at Mizzou. He's winning. He's doing something unheard of there. And then he comes to Arkansas, and he just, I don't know. I can't figure it out. It is what it is, I guess. But hopefully he has success. I'm all for that. Hopefully Eric Musselman is the guy. I think that he certainly seems to be that way. I'm going to have to disagree with anybody who says this is a bad basketball team. I really don't think – I don't know why you'd say that. Based on the body of work so far, I mean, you're 3 points away from being 3-0 in conference play. Your only losses on the year are at Western Kentucky before they lost their star player, a team that was looked at as a possible tournament team. So you lost that one. Of course, Bassie went down in the final 3 minutes of that game, and then you lost on the road to a pretty good LSU team. A good team by doing something, cha-ching, paying players. But nonetheless, they are a good team this year, and they're probably a tournament team. At least they look that way right now. Arkansas should have beaten those guys. Again, you put that neutral site, you put that game in Fayetteville. Hell, you could play it in the FHS arena for all I care. Arkansas wins that thing, but it's hard to overcome on the road, especially. Yeah, there's getting. I hated all the negative stuff I kept seeing on Twitter. What's up, Dylan Bray? Hope all is well. Yeah, it's the stuff my DMs too. I had a couple of people hit me up in the DMs telling me that I was wrong too, but they said you were wrong, but not by much. I was like, okay, is that a backhanded compliment or what? Yeah, Sean, man, look, I know you've been in here before. I'm gonna give you a chance here to to redeem yourself. Just be cool. Now you're getting into it with chat. I'm gonna give you one shot. All right, let's just chill. You've been here before. I've seen you around. I think you're a good dude. I think you got caught up in the emotions. It is what it is, you know. Hey, yeah, Indiana, by the way, a team that Arkansas beat on the road, beat top 15 ranked Ohio State. How about that? That's awesome. We need a big body with the open scholarship. Jamario Bell. Well, yeah. He's I still don't think he's a physical presence, you know. If that's what they need someone down there. You don't have to be 6'11" to be physical down low and box out. You don't have to be huge to do that, right? It helps when you've got that bigger frame, but if you've got the mentality, you know, Muss is the real deal. Everyone just needs to stay positive. Well, I don't have a problem with people being skeptical. I don't. I've been skeptical. That's okay, but you need to recognize that if you're out here saying that this is a bad team, even if they had lost this game, like I still think that would have been an emotional reaction. The body of work right now speaks for itself. This is a pretty good basketball team. I don't know how far they go. I've said since right before conference play, I feel like this is a tournament team. The way they've played, what I have seen with my eyes, they look good enough to play in the NCAA tournament. You don't go into places like, especially like a team against Indiana, and play that well and beat them. Win at Georgia Tech. I know they're not great, but that's still a Power 5, non-conference Power 5 win. Western Kentucky, who before Bassey being hurt, I've said it over and over, that's a tournament team. And Arkansas was in that game for a while, and then, you know, we saw the rest. But it is what it is, right? It happened. They lose Bassey, unfortunately. I don't know. I think they've actually won a couple of games since. I think they've won, 4 games since they played Arkansas, I think, and they're 2-2, or maybe they've played 5 since. So we got 2, maybe 3 6'9" and bigger coming. They've got a little bit. They've got some help on the way. Remember, Musselman said we were a completely different team with Connor Vanover on the floor. Yeah, so next year is looking really good. You've got him, and I couldn't agree. What's up, occasional gamer? Hope you're doing well. Dennis Yerger says we have average players now who are playing way better than they would have with Mike, and I have to agree with that. And again, people in Discord had pointed out you've got 2 stars on the team with no other talent around them. I think you've got 2 stars on the team with guys who have potential around them. And so I don't completely agree with that statement, but right now you are definitely a 2-star. And look, there's some teams that don't even have 1, but they play great. They have a great nucleus on the court, and they could still win games. Arkansas's got a couple of stars. Mason Jones and Isaiah Joe are stars. If we're not saying it now, when are we going to say it? They've got 2 damn good players on that roster. If the rest of this team comes together, you're not going to have size, but the rest of this team comes together, who knows what they're capable of. I think 22 to 25 wins, and that's where I'm at as well. Yeah, Sean, sorry, bro. You're let's see. Say Arkansas does really well the rest of the year, and say the Missouri and Georgia Tech teams offer him a big contract. Do you think he leaves? Tony, are you asking if Missouri can take away Musselman in Georgia Tech? No. Now, if Kentucky enters the picture, that's a completely different conversation. 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl. What was the outcome of that game? Did the Niners win? People who are negative about this team are simply uneducated about this team. Laugh out loud, says Razorback fan 2794. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Sean needs to go. Yeah, I took care of it. Kelly Murray, he's out. What is ready to break? And I need to make one of you guys a moderator, because I have to sit here and like wait on chat to slow down, and then I have to make sure I click the right name here. It's ridiculous. Hell no, he ain't leaving. Yeah, he's not leaving for those 2 jobs. No way. Kentucky, I don't know. KU, I don't know. You know, they're in a lot of trouble with the NCAA, or they will be soon. If a typical blue blood comes around, then you might get a little nervous. Yes, they did tie. Wait. Oh, did they win? Okay, the Niners. All right. Good. No, Muss will be here for a while. We have more money, better facilities, etc. than everyone but Kentucky. Sometimes that's not all that matters, but I will say that Arkansas appears to be a pretty good fit for Muscle, and it really does. My dad and I had this conversation. I don't know if he's in chat or not, but was it my dad? Who was I having that conversation with? About when Arkansas has something they want and then someone else coming along and picking them up. It's really hard to take what Arkansas wants and what Arkansas likes. It doesn't happen very often. Once they get some height on this roster, they'll kill. Dylan Bray, you could not be more right, my man. Yeah, I don't know. I thought let's do this. There. That's the only option they'll give me. There. Put him in timeout. I don't know. It doesn't give me the option to kick him. Sean, you had a meltdown, my man, and it did not look good. I think you were a pretty good guy up until today. You let your emotions get the better of you. I don't know. It's unfortunate. Musselman is going. Let's see. Musselman is going anywhere for the foreseeable. Isn't. I see. You meant to say isn't going anywhere for the foreseeable future. He has a top 5 recruiting class coming in. And knows the hell out of the NBA. I think Muss is home for a while. I think you're probably right. I think it's what are you willing to leave behind, right? If you have what he has coming in, let's go over the numbers really quick. Let's go over these really fast. Keep in mind, ESPN, for whatever reason, it takes them a while to get the total minutes logged. I don't know if they're waiting on the universities for that, but we'll start with Ole Miss. Ole Miss, these guys were. At one point, we're shooting, 50% from three-point range? Was that what I was seeing? Or no, from the floor, I meant. From the floor, and they ended up shooting 41%. They started off in the first half pretty much on fire at three-point range, though. They started off like 2 of their first 3, and it looked like they were going to kill it. Maybe it was 2 of the first 4 or something like that. But they ended up shooting 3 of 13 at three-point range, 23%. 96% at the free throw line, 25 of 26. Pretty good numbers. Arkansas didn't do that bad either at the free throw line. Their leading scorer, Tyree, this guy went off. 27 points, had a total of 3 rebounds, but he was pretty impressive. Buffin, who got into some foul trouble, he had 10 total rebounds. He had 4 offensive rebounds with 6 defensive rebounds. He had 12 points. He was their second leading. Four of their starting 5 had double digits. Henson, Schuler, Tyree, and Buffin all had double digits. The only one who didn't was Sy, who had 8. He's just 2 points shy. They didn't get a whole lot of production off their bench, and I think at the end of the day, that's probably what their fans are going to look at is their lack of production from their bench. These guys, they shot, 1 for 5 off the bench, 0 for 1 from three-point range, 2 points from Hunter. Arkansas would shoot 41% from the field, 40% from three-point range, 8 of 20. Now, Musselman said we've got to hit about 10 to 12 threes in order to win games. They came up short on the road at 8 of 20 and still found a way to win that game. I'm telling you, with great defense comes great possibilities. It's incredible. It's the only reason why they stay in games. It's not because of their offense. It's because of what they're able to do on defense. They can force you to make mistakes. They could force turnovers. It's phenomenal basketball. 81% at the free throw line, 22 of 27. Your leading scorer, how about Isaiah Joe? 34 points. He even had 4 rebounds. Not too shabby. Mason Jones was 6 for 6 at the free throw line, by the way. Isaiah Joe was 5 for 5. Mason led the team in rebound. He had 6. Or no, he had I don't have my glasses on. He had 9 total rebounds tonight. No, he had 6 total rebounds. God, I need my glasses. Staring at this screen. I guess you could argue Jimmy Witt, who went 2 for 9. Teams, and this is what you're going to have to get used to, what you're going to see. And now Ole Miss played very guard-heavy tonight. What they're going to do is they're going to put a bigger body on Witt. They're going to work on him. They're not going to let him get the 15-footer. They're not going to let him hit that mid-range. And when he does, they're going to be very contested, and they normally are anyways at that range. But they're going to force him to play it at the rim. They're going to force him to try and drive or do something else with it. He's not a 3-point shooter. It'd be nice if he had developed a 3-point shot, but he doesn't have it. He's a mid-range guy, and now you've got teams that have seen enough film, and they were calling this out earlier in the year that eventually teams are going to catch on, and they're right. The media was right. It was a good point. And that's exactly what they do. They get him closer to the rim, the more ineffective he seems to be compared to when he's shooting from 15 feet with that ugly mid-range jumper. You're going to have to get used to that. Arkansas, and they need to keep doing what they're doing with Witt, because what that's doing is that's forcing them to come up and force them out of the paint a little bit. And allow Arkansas to maybe maneuver inside. I mean, we've even seen teams put their 4 and 5 or a 4 or a 5 on Witt to prevent him from making those mid-range shots. He's such a distraction, and he's really the most underrated weapon Arkansas has on the offensive side of the ball. I really like what I've seen out of him. Even if he's not making them, the sheer fact that he's able to distract defensive play from the opposing team, it's special. It's special, and then it leaves you, because you have a lack of size, you're able to kind of get around that with Witt and forcing them to play scared at 15 feet. It's smart basketball. I like what Musselman's doing with him, and if it's an uncontested mid-range jumper and the way he likes to, I don't know, he's just got, it's not clean, it's not pretty, it's not all on the wrist, it looks like it's all in the, I don't know, his whole upper body the way he shoots it, but for whatever reason, he's deadly. He shouldn't be, but he is. It's pretty impressive. Obviously, Mason Jones doesn't have to score to be a problem. He still had 13 points tonight. He turned the ball over 4 times, though. He's got to clean that up. They have got to clean that up. Arkansas turned the ball over 10 times, but Ole Miss ultimately, along with some of the other issues they had tonight, 16 turnovers for Ole Miss. And that's what Arkansas is going to do. They're going to steal the ball. They're going to force you to make mistakes with this defense. It's impressive. It really is. They're not playing with a bunch of size. They're kind of guard heavy like Arkansas is. This was an interesting matchup, but I really felt like Arkansas had a chance coming into it. They should win this thing by 9, 10 points. And instead it looked like for a moment there, Ole Miss is going to walk away with this bad boy. And they almost did. And then Arkansas, well, not really, because Arkansas's defense is good enough. They will keep you in the game. They'll keep you in. They'll keep you within range. They won't let the game get out of hand, and then they stay in it. And then you get Isaiah Joe knocking down threes. Before you could rely on Witt in that mid-range, or Mason Jones gets the ball in his hands and tears it up. And another thing, too, if you notice, as soon as Mason Jones gets that ball, they D up on him. And the minute he gets down low, he looks like he's going to try and drive the lane. He jumps inside. Their whole, like 2 or 3 of those guys inside playing zone or even man, they'll bunch in to deal with Mason Jones, and then he kicks it out and he's able to get somebody free. But they've, look, Ole Miss defensively, I think, did what they needed to do to stay in this game and to almost come up. I think they really were. You take away those final 3 minutes, Ole Miss had this thing. It really looked like they were going to find a way to win this game, even though they blew an 11-point lead. Arkansas's been there. They blew the lead against LSU that they had in the first half. I think it was the exact same thing, 11 points. Again, impressive. Musselman, I don't know, people, not very many. You get a few Hog fans, like our boy Sean, who doubt Eric Musselman's ability to coach this team. But if I've learned one thing this year, don't doubt what he can do. He's going to lose some games, guys. You can't win them all. They're going to lose a game they have no business losing. It's going to happen. Hell, it could be Vanderbilt. Even though Vanderbilt looks pretty bad, it's going to happen. You don't panic. You don't freak out and get into an emotional response. You wait. Basketball's a game. It's a game of seconds, man. It's anything can happen on any possession. Arkansas learned that against LSU when they got teed up and they let LSU get back in that game. You knew they were going to go up against some tough officiating on the road. LSU's going to get those calls, and they did. And then you get teed up, you make mistakes. All of a sudden, LSU's back in it, and then they win the game by 2 points. And so anything can happen, especially when they're close games like this. Now, again, I know LSU stretched that lead out a little bit, but Arkansas will hang around. Give it a minute. Or wait until the game is over. And hell, even after this one, I was telling people I still wouldn't take them out of the tournament. There's no way. Even with this loss, I wouldn't take them out of my pick to make the tournament. Wouldn't do it. I still like what I see. I still like what I've seen. The body of work I've been able to watch. I've been fortunate enough to watch, I think, every game this year. I don't think I've missed a single game, and I love what I'm seeing on the court. It's unbelievable. Another thing, too, I noticed, in the first half, not much ball movement. Musselman decided to move Witt, had him change positions and on both offensive and defensive side of the ball. And what I liked was they started actually moving. The ball movement was phenomenal in the second half. Instead of just shot, take it, shot, take it, shot, take it, there's actual ball movement. There was definite halftime adjustments, and ultimately it's why they won the game. I liked what he did with Witt in the second half, moving him, and the way they I thought it was unique seeing Scylla out there as much as we did. I wish Scylla has no offensive game. I think he's out there. What did he do tonight? He didn't play a lot. I don't think he logged a ton of time, but the guy walked away with 5 rebounds, and he had an offensive rebound along with Jalen Harris. Witt had a couple of offensive rebounds. So you had 5 offensive rebounds compared to your, 3? All right. What are we at? How long have we been doing this? 36 minutes. This is longer already. Ty hates the Cowboys. I won't say I hate the Cowboys. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say I hate the Cowboys. I'm just not a fan. Chad is flying. Let's see. Jay says, Jay Massey says, Witt is a distraction. That's a great way to put it, Ty. I always said plan B is defense and hustle and grit. Right, but you need a plan B when you have the ball in your hand, though. But you're right. That is ultimately what they have to rely on. Let's see. Kelly Marie. See you, Kelly. Thanks I think you're leaving. It's good seeing you around. Chat is flying. I couldn't keep up with this if I tried. Red Nasty says Arkansas ball. It takes Arkansas small ball. It takes adjustments. Did you see the first bracketology? We was a 7 seed. I thought they had Arkansas as a 6 seed. Am I wrong on that? I thought Lenardi had him as a 6 seed. Witt defense down the stretch was key. Hogs ranked next week. Well, they're going to have – the only way they get ranked, they got to get through Kentucky. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough game. Kentucky obviously loaded with talent, a little bit more size. It's going to be a tough game. I have Arkansas winning that game. To me, it's a lot like the LSU game where I was like, yeah, it's a coin flip, but give me Arkansas because of the way they've played. They lost it by 2 points. Had an 11-point lead and really looked like they could stretch that thing out until the whistle started getting blown a lot. And then it kind of took Arkansas out of it, or it put LSU in position to stay in, and Arkansas just couldn't overcome it. Musselman said it himself after in the post-game presser. He said, "We got to learn to take fouls like LSU does." What a backhanded compliment. I love the way he trolls. The whole Walmart shirt after the A&M coach, after Buzz, the shit talking he was doing about Walmart. Guy knew nothing about Walmart. This is great. Kentucky's going to be rough. I agree, Dylan. I completely agree. That's going to be a tough matchup. I have Arkansas winning this game, but man, it has LSU, that feeling all over it. Kentucky's a good team. They were losing some games and early on in the year and barely winning games against some so-so basketball teams, and you really felt like maybe the balloon had deflated. Maybe the Kentucky balloon had deflated a lot, like how we say that about Alabama every year in football. But when it comes time in conference play, those guys put their hard hats on and they play ball. It's going to be tough. There's no doubt about that. Let's see. Don't go shh. Ty, did you see Indiana beat Ohio State? I did. That was great. It's always good especially a team that you beat on the road. It's good to see them go on and do great things. Yeah, Starkle is going to go to San Jose State. That's great. I'm still laughing about how Nick Starkle went to San Jose State, says Tony. Yeah. Love that fight tonight. Jenna, you could not be more right. Oh my gosh, this team is just they're tenacious, man. They don't go anywhere. They don't give a damn. They're going to play ball. I love it. I love the fight. They don't go away. And if Isaiah Joe catches fire, if Mason Jones is doing his thing, as long as his ball handling skills don't take a dump in the game, they're incredibly difficult to beat. Imagine that atmosphere in Bud Walton, even against Vandy, and then imagine it against Kentucky. It's going to be incredible. We're working on doing something. I won't be able to make the game. Tickets are sold, and I'm not even I would prefer. I'd prefer to have access to the game at home or on my phone and being able to go live, because you bet your bottom dollar I'm going to go live after that one. I can't wait. I want to go to the game. I want to go buy some tailgates, say hi like I did with the what's his name, with the guy on Twitter who Pinto and Ty Richardson everyone was talking to. Lot 73. I'll call it the Lot 73 tailgate. I went by there, got to say hi to people, got to meet Ty Richardson, of course, from formerly from the Morning Rush. Now he works with Phil Elson at I forgot the name of their show. Oh, man, I feel bad. But, the show they do, in the afternoon with Phil Elson for a couple hours. Got to meet him. So I want to do that for the Kentucky game. I know people are going to be tailgating for that one. Oh, my God. Assuming we don't have terrible weather, typical Northwest Arkansas weather. Plan B is defense. Hustle and grit, says Dennis. Yeah, Dennis, you've said that about 4 or 5 times tonight. I hear you. It's just nice when you have the ball in your hands when you're trying to score. How about that? Let's be a little bit more clear here. Let's be a little bit more specific. When you have the ball in your possession and you can't score from out in the perimeter, you need to have another thing to rely on the offensive side of the ball while you have the ball physically in your hand. And they don't have that right now. Hopefully, maybe they can get that figured out. I don't know. But right now, Plan B, I'm with you. It's defense keeping them in games. That's exactly what it is. I got 2 tickets for the Auburn game. Can't wait. Ooh, Bradley. What's this? Halftime. What is this? What are y'all talking about? Oh, is there a football game on? Do we have NFL? Like I said in the last live stream, I'll keep up in the championship games and the Super Bowl. Other than that, when my Rams aren't in it, I know some people had asked me to cover more NFL and more NBA, but it's hard enough just keeping up with Arkansas athletics. I can't stand them after that Chad Morse. Oh, you're talking about the – okay, I know what you're talking about, Jay. Yeah. Auburn is the Final Four team. That's the true number 1 SEC team. I mean, they're really good. There's no doubt about that, Keith. You can't argue with that. They're playing really good basketball. That's going to be a tough one, too. What's the story with this, Jay? Musk makes halftime adjustments, something Morris never did. But yeah, well, I mean, you're not wrong. I love how we still find ways to throw shade at Chad Morris. The name of the Phil Elson Tyrus show is oh, you guys are correcting me about the show. Okay, it's halftime show. My bad. I don't always have just this screen up. I'm usually clicking back and forth between this and where I get my stats from. I didn't know what you guys were talking about. Let's see. Look it up. It's on Hit That Line After. Oh, you're talking about yeah. No, I discussed it. I certainly discussed it here. You don't like the halftime show? I like the halftime show. I mean, I say I like the halftime show. I liked listening to Phil and Ty talk. Phil, we've had Phil on the Hog Talk podcast, and he's a cool cat. He really is. He's a cool guy. I like him. You can tell he's excited about Arkansas baseball. Hey, Ty just came on. That game was too close, says Mrs. Growlove. I hope you're having a good night, Mrs. Growlove. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Fishman says, Indiana beat 11th-ranked Ohio State. That's good for us. It absolutely is. Chad is gone. Erase him from our memories. Greener pastures ahead with our boss hog, says Keith. Blood Diamond. I got you, Ty. I appreciate that, man. I really do. I want to say, too, when I go to Walmart, hell, when I'm pumping gas at the gas station, you guys come up to me and say hi, and don't be shy. I had a guy at Walmart not long ago, because I had my kids with me, he felt terrible, but he was like, hey, I just wanted to say, I don't want to disrupt you and your kids, but hey, man, love the show. Don't be shy. I'm a big old teddy bear. I like talking, obviously, right? Don't be shy. Come up and say hi. And I know there's some people who don't like me at all. Those people too. They're more than likely the haters. They're more than welcome to come up and say hi. Even my man Sean. I don't know if he completely left chat or not. I know I gave him the old timeout. He probably ran. But even Sean, hey, high five. Don't punch me in the face though. I haven't. I definitely have some haters. There's no doubt about that. But Chad Morris, we're not going to talk about that. That was an old story. Indiana win was huge. It was. I couldn't agree more. All right, I really think that's going to do it. We're going to record episode 56 of the Hog Talk podcast tomorrow. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to. You can join our Discord. I know it. I should have had that ready, and I didn't. Let me throw you guys the Discord invite here really quick. If you want to join in, if you got questions, because what we do now, we actually sit in Discord and we record typically. Now, if I'm doing a solo show, if I don't have Porter or Jacob with me, I don't use Discord. But it's just Discord is just so much. It's clear, like it's the sound is clear. We're not having to rely on the Skype network. Boom, there you go. There's the Discord. If you guys want to ask any questions while we're recording, and we'll let you know when we're recording, and you can ask your questions. We had some good ones on the last episode. Why does Arkansas get so much disrespect, my man? We'll see if they beat Kentucky, or well, first you got to get through Vandy. Look, Vandy's always salty against Arkansas. I don't know what their record is the last 10 years, but they always seem to be salty. Win that one, beat Kentucky, you'll be ranked. You better be. Nobody can hate on Utah. You'd be surprised. Woo, Lord, you'd be surprised, my man. I catch all sorts of hate. There's no doubt about that. You guys don't see it because it gets thrown into the filtered comment section. There's words, there's key words. They'll get flagged by YouTube, and they'll throw it in my held for review. And I'm sure War Machine has the same thing set up. Of course, he's a highlight channel, not a commentary channel, but I'm sure he gets it too. I know he does. Mine fills up, especially after Mike Anderson, especially after I talked about the Morning Rush in their article from Hit That Line about KJ Jefferson. I had several comments go into the held for review section. You guys don't see them. I've thought about making fun of them and talking about them, but sometimes YouTube will completely remove those comments. Like I'll see them post. I'll get the notification on my phone. I'll read it, and then I'll go back to find it, and YouTube will completely remove it. But, they're real big on let's be honest. They're real big on the PC language. They are. And if they see something they don't like, if a chat becomes quote-unquote toxic enough, they'll completely disable your chat. It's happened before. Twitch doesn't do that, but YouTube does. Twitch is it's a different platform that just happens to, do the same thing. But, so there's a lot of stuff you guys haven't seen. My wife I don't even read them to her anymore because she either gets mad or she's like, I don't know how the hell you do this. I'm like, yeah, I know. So, all right. Off to Netflix land, go watch Witcher. I loved it. Witcher was awesome. I'm not going to lie. First season 1, I'm going to hold it up there with Game of Thrones. Not even lying. Then again, I'm a fan. I played Witcher 3 on PS4. I'm a fan of it anyways, but damn, that show was good, y'all. All right. You guys be good. We'll be back here 6 p.m. I'm assuming we'll be 6 p.m. Monday night. If anything changes, I'll let you know on social media. What a win tonight. How big was that? Huge. Well, not huge in the grand scheme of things, but still, the comeback, the fight, you got to love it. Arkansas Razorbacks doing their thing this year, playing sound, great defensive basketball, finding ways to stay in games and finding ways to win games. Fantastic. Great win. 76-72 Hogs, the final. We'll see you guys on Monday's show. Be good. Oh, be sure and check out the links down below. Again, if you guys want to join the Patreon, I've had people ask about it in Discord. It's down below in the links. If you want to throw a tip in the tip jar, the PayPal link is provided for you down below as well. Of course, the Hog Talk podcast link is down there as well. So, that's it. Good night.